Mother Goose in prose. Sing a song of sixpence. Sing a song of sixpence, a handful of rye, 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Now, wasn't that a dainty dish to serve before the king? What beautiful rhymes! But if you did not know the story about Gilligren and the king, you would not understand what the rhyme means. So now I'm going to tell you the story of Gilligren, the blackbirds, and the king. Long, long, very long ago, there was a boy named Gilligren, and he was an orphan, and he lived with his uncle and aunt, who were very unkind to him. And when he was 12 years old, the old king had died, and there was a lot of celebrations in London for the crowning of the new king. Gilligren told his uncle, "Uncle, if I had sixpence, I will make my fortune." His uncle said, "What? With sixpence, you think you can make a fortune? You are a foolish boy." "Uncle, I will not ask more than sixpence from you until I become rich." "Oh, you cannot make anything with that sixpence." Quickly, Gilligren's aunt came running. "Oh, please give the sixpence and get rid of the boy. Pretty soon, those sixpence will be gone. He might even fall into the company of people who treat him more badly than us, and then he will realize his mistake of leaving us." So his uncle gave Gilligren sixpence. Gilligren, with hope in his heart and with those sixpence, with a stick, started walking to London. He was very, very happy. He enjoyed the nature. He enjoyed the chirping of the beautiful birds. He loved walking through the country. Many people who passed by him shared their food, gave place for him to sleep. And on his journey, he met a man who asked Gilligren, "Little boy, where are you heading to?" "I am going to London to see the crowning of the new king," said Gilligren. "Do you have any money?" "Oh, yes, I have sixpence." "I'll tell you what, if you give the sixpence to me, I'll give you a sack of rye." "But what can I do with the sack of rye?" "Oh, you can give it in the mill, make it into a flour, and bake a bread and sell it." "Oh, that's a lovely idea. Here, take my sixpence." Oh my God, this man was a very mean man, you know. He gave Gilligren a sack of rye, but there was very little rye in the sack. He said, "Gilligren, I promised that I will give you a sack of rye, but never told you how much of rye will be in the sack. Next time, when you buy something, make sure, ask what you're getting." Gilligren became very sad, but then he did not lose his hope. He took his sack of rye and started walking. Night came. He had some milk and bread with him and he slept under a bullock cart. He rolled the sack and kept under his head. The rye was hurting him. He said, "What am I going to do with this handful of rye? I can't do anything." So he threw the rye and folded the sack and kept under his neck and went into a deep sleep. The sun rose, and when he woke up, he saw a lot of beautiful blackbirds enjoying their feast of fry. Quietly, Gilligren opened the sack and covered the blackbirds. A few flew away, but then he got a good number of 24. Carrying his blackbirds in the sack, he started walking. He reached the London gates. He went into the gates and went to the back side of the kitchen. He sat there looking at what was happening. It was indeed nice. A soldier came by and asked Gilligren, "Little boy, what are you doing here?" "Oh, I'm waiting to see the king." "The king? The king never comes here. What do you have in your sack?" "It's blackbirds." "Blackbirds? Come, it's very fortunate of you to be here." And the soldier took him to the chef. "Chef, this boy has the blackbirds. The king wants a blackbird pie, isn't it? You're very fortunate, chef." And so the chef pulled Gilligren by his arm and he said, "Please give me your blackbirds. I need to make the pie." Gilligren said, "I will give you my blackbirds on 2 conditions. 1, you'll have to give me a position in the kingdom. 2, you're not going to kill the blackbirds." "But how can I make a pie without killing the blackbirds?" said the chef. "I'll give you an idea," said Gilligren. "Make the pie so that all the 24 blackbirds fits into it, live, and serve the pie once the king has eaten quite full. And when the king opens up the pie, it'll be a big surprise." The chef had to make the blackbird pie, and so agreed to his conditions. But he was very scared. He did not know the temper of the new king, but somehow agreed to Gilligren. And he made Gilligren the butler's page. The chef served the blackbird pie to the king. Even though the king had eaten very well, when he saw the pie, he smacked his lips and he took his curved fork and put it in the pie. And when the crust fell open, oh my God, those little blackbirds, they just came out flying. And it was a beautiful sight in the bright lit dining hall. The king was taken by surprise, but then he enjoyed it. He called for the chef and asked who had given this idea. The chef said, "Sire, it's the little boy who's standing behind the table." Immediately, the king called for Gilligren and he said, "You seem to be a very clever boy, and I think you deserve a better position than a butler's page. You shall be my own page, and if you serve well, you will be rewarded greatly." And as said, Gilligren served the king faithfully, and he was fairly rewarded. He made a great good fortune. After all, he did make his fortune with his 6 pence. What a beautiful story. What beautiful hope it brings into our